So we are here to say loudly and clearly that in our great nation, we will not accept oligarchy. We will not accept authoritarianism. We will not accept kleptocracy. We're here to make it clear that we're going to fight back and we are going to win.
Kenosha, Wisconsin, became the latest stop on Senator Bernie Sanders' Fighting Oligarchy tour, where the longtime progressive leader delivered a powerful address before a capacity crowd of 3,500 people at the University of Wisconsin Parkside. Another 500 hopeful attendees were turned away as the venue quickly reached its limits, underscoring the enthusiasm surrounding the event. Taking the stage to thunderous applause, Sanders wasted no time getting to the heart of the issue, what he calls an unprecedented crisis of oligarchy in America. Bernie Sanders said that, "We are here to send a loud and clear message. We will not accept an America run by billionaires for billionaires. We will not allow oligarchy, authoritarianism, or kleptocracy to take over our democracy." Throughout his speech, the Vermont senator drew historical parallels to past struggles for justice, invoking the words of Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. Sanders reminded the audience that democracy has always been a fight, one that requires constant vigilance. But his sharpest words were directed at what he called the billionaire takeover of the U.S. government. Sanders took aim at President Donald Trump's inauguration, claiming it was stacked with billionaires and corporate elites, prioritizing tax breaks for the wealthy while cutting essential programs for working-class Americans. They stand behind Trump, not just figuratively but literally. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and their billionaire allies, these people are running our government, and they are waging a war against working families, Sanders stated.
I want you to think back some 6 or so weeks ago when Trump was inaugurated for his second term. And standing right behind Trump as he took his oath of office were the 3 wealthiest men in America. You remember that? Elon Musk, Mr. Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg. But it's not just that the 3 wealthiest people in America are right behind them, because right behind them, there were 13 other billionaires who Trump had nominated to head major government agencies.
Sanders detailed the deep-rooted issues plaguing the nation: skyrocketing healthcare costs, corporate greed, income inequality, and the ongoing threats to Social Security and Medicaid. He warned that Trump and his billionaire backers are pushing to gut these programs while increasing wealth for the ultra-rich.
Now, how do they do that? What's their plan? Well, their plan is to cut Medicaid by $880 billion. Now, what does that mean? It means that millions of kids will be thrown off of the health care that they have. It means, as Mark Buchanan mentioned a moment ago, that when nursing homes get 2/3 of their funding from Medicaid, that if you have a mom or a dad that is in or needs to be in a nursing home, it's going to be really hard because nursing homes all over this country are going to be closing down. It's not just cutting Medicaid. They are now going after Social Security. In America today, 22% of seniors are trying to survive on $15,000 a year or less. You tell me how anybody can survive on $15,000 a year. I don't care whether you are in Wisconsin, Vermont, or any place.
He also criticized Musk's involvement in American politics, alleging that the billionaire tech mogul is using his wealth to influence elections, including a judicial race in Wisconsin. When one of the richest men on earth starts interfering in a state Supreme Court race to strip away women's reproductive rights, we have to ask ourselves, who is really running this country? Sanders stated.
It is apparently not enough, and I want you to think hard about this, that Musk spent some $270 million to help Trump get elected, and his reward is that he was made the most powerful person in the U.S. government. But it goes beyond that, as bad as that is. The situation is so absurd that, and Musk is so arrogant, that he is even intervening in a Supreme Court election right here in the state of Wisconsin against a candidate who has the very, very extreme idea that maybe women should be able to control their own bodies, not the government.
But Sanders didn't just highlight the problems. He laid out a progressive vision for the future. He called for higher wages, expanded Social Security, stronger labor unions, and universal health care. The senator reiterated his push for a 32-hour workweek without loss of pay, arguing that advancements in artificial intelligence should benefit workers, not just CEOs. Bernie Sanders mentioned that it's time we stop working longer hours for lower wages while billionaires buy private islands and space vacations. We need an economy that works for all of us, not just the 1%. His speech also emphasized the global fight for democracy, taking a strong stance in support of Ukraine while condemning Trump's alignment with authoritarian leaders. Sanders criticized the former president's rhetoric on the war, calling it a dangerous distortion of reality. Ukraine didn't start this war, Russia did. And we will not stand by while Trump and his allies try to rewrite history and turn their backs on democracy, he stated. As the event concluded, Sanders urged his supporters to remain engaged in the political process, calling for grassroots activism to challenge corporate power. Bernie Sanders said that the stakes are too high. Despair is not an option. We will stand together, and we will win. Sanders' message is clear. He's not backing down in his fight against the billionaire class. Whether his movement will translate into political change remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. In Kenosha, the fight for economic justice was met with roaring approval.